It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
2022 was a bad year.
Yep.
And a lot of people, I've already shared, I've had personal friends say, should I really be doing that index fund? Because it really didn't do well last year. It kind of gave up a lot of money. So a lot of you are questioning, even if you did the plan, you're like, what's the stick with it on this? Because it lost money last year. And that's kind of disheartening to work so hard for this money, put this money to supposedly work, and then watch it actually be worth less than what I put in. Why should I keep doing this?
I think the answer that I would give to someone to the why should I keep doing this is you have to zoom out and have a bigger picture view. You have to look at the sum total of what it is you're trying to accomplish. So if it's saving for the future and building towards financial independence, 2022 is painful and it starts to make you think, why am I doing this? And it starts to make you second guess. However, if you can zoom out, the picture becomes much more exciting. We want to show you a quick illustration, and we put this together because we thought this showed it really, really well. If you go look at the S&P 500 from October of 2007 until the end of 2012, right? So that's a course of what? Nearly 6 years we're going through. S&P 500 in October of 2007 closed at 1565. Fast forward that nearly 6 years, and it closed at 1563. So you would say like, okay, well, that's about 6 years. Market didn't really do a whole lot. If I put all my money in there, if I maxed out my Roth in October of 07, by the time I looked at it at the end of 2012, it's not a very compelling picture. Doesn't look super exciting.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who love to kind of fall on the pessimistic side of things will be like, look, here's proof of why you shouldn't do this. Just stay out of it. But I'm that optimist, glass half full. And we've done this illustration back with the Great Depression, but a lot of critics will be like, man, that was so long ago. How does that fit into the context of what we're living through now? I love the fact that we were able to create content that shows, hey, this isn't just because we learned from the Great Depression what happened. The same thing can be done to modern times too. And this is it, 2007 all the way through 2012. It basically was flat, but here's what we want to do to flip this on the script upside down. A good financial mutant is not just going to sit out there and just watch what they put in, just sit there and go flat for this nearly 6 years. What actually is going to happen is you're building wealth, is you're going to be buying into good news, you're going to be buying into bad news. You just go always be buying.
Yep.
I mean, that's the mantra I've been sharing with you guys. I'm still doing it. Bo's still doing it. I want you to be doing it too. And if you can have that mantra of always be buying, even if the news looks bleak and bad, you're going to be okay, because here's what I know. The human condition wants to grow and expand. We have talked about this. I mean, the world is blowing up right now because everybody's talking about Chat GPT and the AI and stuff. You don't think there's going to be a way to make money off that? All these things that we've experienced in life, there's always ways for us to make money off of even disruptive technology. You don't have to go try to be Microsoft and buy into this technology right now. You just buy the index because guess what? The index will come to exactly where all this technology is, and you will be successful. I think 2022 is a perfect year. And then, Bo, I'll let you give the aha moment here. But I had a lot of people that I have a lot of respect for. They've been posting content recently, and they've been very honest about how they got beat up pretty bad in 2022. And it's a lot of the people who did the sector plays. It's a lot of people that do the specific investments. But then they compare and contrast to the S&P 500 or the total market index.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people would be like, because this is what my old next door neighbor, he used to play all these individual stocks and other things. And he came to me and goes, when I look at the history of what's going on with the S&P and stuff, man, I'm spending a lot of time if I just bought the economy, bought the market, bought that the human condition is always expanding, I'd probably save myself a lot of heartache. That's what we're here to teach you guys. I mean, look, there are outliers, of course, but stay the course. Just be automated on your wealth building process. Always be buying. I think you'll like how this plays out. And I'll let Bo kind of tell you the rest of the story.
Yeah, so again, let's think about this example. S&P 500 was at one point in October of 2007, 6 years later to almost the exact same point. What if instead of bailing from your goals, you said, I'm going to stick to my goal. I'm going to keep saving $500 a month over this 5.5-year period. The $33,000 total that you would have invested over that nearly 6 years would be worth $46,327 by April of 2013. So you would have made money. You're not in this flat environment. You saved $33,000 and it's worth $46,000. That's an annualized rate of return of 11.9%. Pretty stinking amazing, right? But that's only part of the story, because what we know is we have the beauty of hindsight looking back. Let's assume now that you left that $46,000 and you let it keep working for you. And you said, I'm not going to save anymore. I'm just going to let compounding interest do what compounding interest does. If you just left that $46,000 back in April of 2013, continue to grow all the way until this month, until January of 2023, even after 2022 lost value, that $46,000 is still worth over $142,000. And this isn't something way back in the day during the Great Depression. This isn't something that only happened in the 1980s and 1990s. This is something that if you're an active investor today, if you're out in the working world today, you've lived through this market. You could have experienced these exact same returns in your investing lifetime.
Hey, we've shared with you guys, we eat our own cooking. We actually practice this in our own behavior of investing. We also show you the numbers. We open up the curtain, let you see, because I think there's so many people out there playing upon the emotions of, hey, we just made it through a pandemic. We had, a bad 2022. You need to do something different. You need to do something safe. And look, I am happy to report interest rates are much higher than they were. So now we can actually have a conversation about balanced risk taking, meaning that there is probably a portion of your portfolio that we can use for cash reserves and other things to maximize the higher yields that we have now, but don't over or underestimate, depending upon where your fear is versus where your goals are, what equities and doing this consistently over the long term can do for you. Because yes, inflation and other things are boogie things that are hiding under the bed right now. But I think that I just buy into this exponential opportunity in the long term. That I want you to stay the course. I mean, that is the big takeaway from this.